What's up, my fellow anglers? Your old friend is here, ready to dive deep into the fascinating world of fishing forecasts for Sunday, January 25th, 2026, right here in the United Kingdom. This day holds a unique promise for us, not because it's going to be an easy ride, but because it's going to challenge us, and that, my friends, is where the real satisfaction lies. Forget those lazy summer days. Winter fishing in the UK is about skill, patience, and knowing your stuff. And today, I'll break down everything you need to know to turn a challenging winter's day into a memorable catch. Stick with me, because I've got some insights that might just surprise you about what's stirring beneath those cold waters. All right, let's talk tactics for a few of our favorite winter warriors. First up, for those of you hitting the still waters and canals, we're talking about pike and perch. The rivers are in their coarse fish-closed season for many species until mid-June, but in closed waters are fair game, and these predators are still on the prowl. For pike, my friends, it's all about finding those deeper areas. Look for drop-offs, submerged features like old trees or hidden weed beds, and any sudden changes in depth. These cold-blooded hunters will be conserving energy, often sitting patiently, waiting for an easy meal. My go-to setup will be a sturdy pike rod with a deadbait ledger rig. I'd be using sea deadbaits like sardines, mackerel, or smelt, presented slowly and purposefully. Remember, in these cold temperatures, a slow, subtle presentation is key. Leave your bait static for longer periods, or just give it the gentlest twitch, enough to make it look like an easy target, but not enough to scare a sluggish fish. Now for the fantastic perch. They tend to shoal up in winter, seeking out structure and deeper holes. Think about bridges, jetties, snags, or even the deeper sections of canals. They want cover and slightly more stable temperatures. For perch, a lighter spinning or jigging rod is perfect. I'd be using small finesse jigs or even a drop shot rig with a tiny worm or a bunch of maggots. The retrieve needs to be ultra slow, almost painstakingly so, just a gentle lift and drop, letting the bait tantalize them. Remember, presentation is everything when they're finicky due to the cold. And for my sea angling comrades, cod is your prime target this time of year. January is peak season, especially along the North Sea coast, and the south and west coasts also offer good opportunities. These guys are actively feeding, though their metabolism is still slowed by the cold. You'll want to target deeper gullies, wrecks, and rough ground offshore. For tackle, a heavy beach caster or boat rod is essential. Use a pulley rig or a flapper rig loaded with big, smelly baits. Think fresh squid, lugworm, or peeler crab. These strong scents are crucial for attracting sluggish cod in the cold water. A little tip: fishing during darkness often brings the best bites for cod and whiting, so consider an evening or night session if you're targeting the coast. Now let's break down the conditions that are shaping our fishing day, January 25th, 2026. Weather-wise across the United Kingdom, we're looking at a day that's distinctly wintry and a bit unsettled. Daytime temperatures are expected to hover around a high of 4 degrees Celsius or 39 degrees Fahrenheit, dropping to a chilly 0 to negative 1 degree Celsius, that's 32 to 30 degrees Fahrenheit, overnight. The main feature will be light rain or drizzle throughout the day, with about 0.3 millimeters of precipitation expected. There's a 35% chance of rain during the day and a 20% chance of snow at night. So expect mostly cloudy skies. The wind will be coming from the southwest, with a moderate strength of up to 4 Beaufort. This southwest wind can sometimes bring a touch of moisture and slightly milder air, but the overall cold is certainly going to dominate. We're likely under the influence of lower, more unsettled atmospheric pressure, which can sometimes lead to a more consistent, albeit sluggish, bite compared to those wild pressure swings. Moving to the water, the temperatures are, as expected for January, very cold. Inland lakes and rivers will be hovering just above freezing, likely between 0 and 3 degrees Celsius, or 32 to 37 degrees Fahrenheit, with those thinner margins possibly skimmed with ice. Coastal sea temperatures will be at their annual coldest, generally ranging from 6 to 10 degrees Celsius, or 43 to 50 degrees Fahrenheit, especially in the northern and western coastal waters. Such low temperatures significantly reduce fish metabolism, making them lethargic and less inclined to feed aggressively. Your presentation needs to be slow, precise, and enticing, as they won't be chasing anything fast. And what about the moon phase? On January 25th, 2026, the moon will be in a waxing crescent phase for most of the day, with an illumination of around 42 to 45%. It will transition to a first quarter phase later in the evening, around 11:47 p.m. EST reaching just over 50% illumination. While some old-school anglers believe a waxing moon can sometimes stimulate feeding activity, particularly at night, my experience and the data tells me that in these extreme cold conditions, the weather factors, temperature, pressure, and wind, will have a far more dominant influence on fish behavior. So, my friends, overall fish activity will be cautious and often sluggish. Metabolic rates are low and fish are conserving energy. The best windows for action will likely be during the warmer parts of the day, typically between 10 in the morning and 4 in the afternoon. Given the chilly temperatures, light rain, and unsettled pressure, I'd rate the general bite for this Sunday as sluggish and capricious, but with potential for rewarding catches if you adapt your tactics and really put in the effort. So get out there, bundle up, stay safe, and enjoy the challenge. May your lines be tight and your flasks full of hot tea. Tight lines, everyone, and remember, nil carborundum illegitimi. Don't let the weather grind you down. If you found this forecast helpful, please hit that like button, subscribe for more tips, and tell me in the comments below. What are your plans for this cold Sunday? What's your secret weapon for winter fishing? I love hearing your stories.